I was robbed in Kenya. I almost potentially couldn't have made it out alive.
You spoke on 750 plus stages.
I was mad at God. Why are you doing this to me? There's a belief that the devil is this creature underground in a world filled with fire, and after you die, if you do bad things in life, he's waiting for you. No, I believe the devil is in every single one of our heads. The thing that changed my life the most is when I started blaming myself instead of everybody else.
We need more people like you for our youth. I just don't think that they're being guided the right ways.
A principal pulls me aside. He says, "Young man, you have a gift. Keep telling stories. People like when you share on stage." I really felt like I had to show the world that Sam wasn't a failure.
Every time I've followed my gut and followed my intuition, it's always been a blessing. Something good has happened.
That's the biggest thing I learned about myself. I'm dreaming too small. I am my own ceiling. I have friends I loved so deeply, and the relationships totally vanished once things started working out. Because sometimes your success in life makes other people uncomfortable, and you have no idea it's happening.
What's up, Sam?
Excited to be here, man.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. You?
You're looking happy.
I got money.
Oh, that's a good way to start the pod. You got some money. No, honestly, bro, you're always smiling.
I appreciate that. I try my best to find the good in life.
Yeah.
What's the alternative?
For sure.
Be upset.
For sure.
You know?
And I want to dive into that. We're gonna get into all the amazing things you're currently doing and you've done the past 5-6 years. But let's talk more about growing up. Sam growing up as a teen, as a kid. What were you like? What did you dream of doing?
Dude, 5 years old, my parents put skates on me. My dad was a hockey player, wanted me to be one.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah.
I'd cry every time. Put a soccer ball in front of me. I would kick it around the house, hitting all the furniture.
Yeah.
Fell in love with football.
Okay.
European football. By the time I was 13, I was in Italy, 6 months playing with Empoli.
Wow.
By the time I was 17, I had this full ride scholarship opportunity to go to the States. And for me as a kid, like that was everything.
Okay.
It was just soccer, athletics, training, and discipline for the sport.
What happens?
I've told this story so many times. For me, it's funny to share it. For sure. I ended up having 3 major knee injuries.
So you said full ride.
Yep.
When does the injury happen?
So I'm set to go to the Disney Cup, which is one of the largest tournaments in North America for college recruiting. I'm playing on Vaughn, one of the most competitive teams in North America. Most of our athletes almost all of them got full ride scholarships. 2 of them play on the Canadian men's national team now. So it's a very competitive program. We're set to go to the Disney Cup. We have coaches flying into our practices like weeks before the Disney Cup. Okay. One of which was Memphis. And they called me and my buddy Darren before the Disney Cup. Hey, we want to bring you down to our school for an official visit. So I go down there, tour the campus, have this amazing experience. Okay, Sam, we're going to come watch you play the Disney Cup, and we'll get everything squared away there. See you in a couple weeks. I fly back from the official visit, and I ended up tearing the cartilage in my left knee a few weeks before the tournament.
Damn.
So I go, sit on the bench. Coaches come. Hey, man, it's okay. Defer for a year. We'll figure it out. We're going to keep an eye on you. We'll just start a year later. 6 months after my first knee surgery, I tear it a second time. Have a second operation. 5th year of high school. In my 5th year, I tear it in my opposite healthy knee, along with the labrum in my right hip. And so I ended up spending about 2.5 years just consistently trying to get back on the field before I made the decision to stop playing soccer and take a different path.
Damn. It's crazy because we have a lot of similarities with our story. I went to the States on scholarship.
Yeah.
But I got injured and still went. I had a sports hernia the year before that I was supposed to go, and I had surgery. I just didn't tell the school. Oh, wow. I'm like, if I tell them, I'm done. But it did change probably my trajectory. I ended up going for 1 year and coming back.
Yeah.
So what's going on in your mind when that's happening? Because that was plan A and plan B.
In business, if you work at solving a problem for 12 years and at the end of the 12 years you have nothing to show for it, you're considered a failure. Your business is a flop. Yeah. You're an embarrassment. Like that was what I had. It just wasn't a business. It was athletics. Yeah. And all my buddies, like they had something to show for their effort. full ride scholarships, professional contracts, amazing start to their athletic careers.
Yeah.
And I know in my heart how hard I worked. I know I was the guy that wasn't cutting corners at practice and encouraging my teammates not to do the same. I know I was the guy bringing a notebook in my car and showing up to practice 45 minutes early because I would listen to the sports motivation podcast and take notes in my Dollarama journals. I know I was the guy waking up at 6 playing Rocky, Bill Conti, going the distance, running around the block in my track pants. Like, I know that I did what I was supposed to do. Life just had different plans for me.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the thing that changed my life the most is it's not a specific moment, but it's when I started blaming myself instead of everybody else. And, you know, you can hear my story. Everyone listening can hear my story on 100 podcasts. But I want to make sure this is the most tactical one someone listens to. Okay. That if they listen to this show, it's like they come back to it because it changed something about their life, not my journey. And it's when I started blaming myself first. So can I tell you a quick story?
Of course.
I was on a plane like a month ago, and I'm walking down the aisle, and I pull out my boarding pass, and I can't find the seat. Like you know how sometimes from first class it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it jumps to like 12, 13, 14? My boarding pass had a seat that didn't exist. And so I stopped in the middle of the aisle, and I'm causing traffic, and I'm standing there for a minute. And this lady sees me, and she taps me, and she's like, "Sir, are you going to grab your seat?" And I said, "Can you believe this? Like, they gave me a boarding pass for a chair that doesn't even exist. Maybe I'm on the wrong airplane." And she looked at me and she laughed, and she's like, "Do you have a connecting flight by any chance?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Are you looking at the right boarding pass, sir?" Pull out the other boarding pass. My seat is 2 seats behind her. Felt like an idiot. And I'm like, how often in life do we blame other people for situations we're going through instead of blaming ourselves first?
It's true.
I have family that doesn't talk to my parents because they take no responsibility for situations. And I'm not saying that we're not both at fault, but if two people can't take responsibility for their part of the equation, can't have a relationship. And for me, my life totally changed when I just started taking responsibility for the stuff that was unfolding for me.
So you got injured and you were blaming the world at that point.
Big shout out to our family at Mintink, Canada's top spot for sports cards, trading cards, collectibles, and live hobby experiences. If you're just getting started or you're already deep in the game, they've got it all. Retail packs, high-end boxes, grading, supplies, and they even do daily live shows. Me and Anth actually have started building our own collection. We're stacking Ronaldo cards, grabbing some Funkos, and ripping whatever we got the itch for. You can shop online or roll to their store in Vaughan to rip, trade, and hit up their bi-weekly trade nights. Hit the link in our description below. Use the code MBH5 at checkout for a little bonus from the boys. Big love for Mintink for backing the pod and keeping the hobby scene alive in Toronto.
I was blaming the world. I was mad at God. Why are you doing this to me?
Yep.
And in hindsight, it's funny. I started lifting weights when I was like 13.
Okay.
I definitely started a little too earlier with the hustle mentality in athletics.
For sure.
Was probably pushing a little too hard. I think back to sleep. You know, you hear about high-level athletes sleeping 9, 12 hours a night.
Yeah.
Man, I was sleeping like 6 hours sometimes. You get back from practice at Vaughan, you live in Pickering, practice ends at 10 o'clock. Yep. And you got to get up at 6 to get ready for school and study, and you just repeat this process.
Yeah.
I wasn't resting enough. But in the moment, it was just, I was mad at everybody else.
Yeah.
I unfollowed all my teammates. I didn't want to see sports.
Wow.
I lost some friendships because of it.
Wow.
Which I'm really upset about. And it was nothing personal with my teammates.
For sure.
I just didn't want to see the sport. It made me sick.
Wow. That's how deep it went.
It was tough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what moment does your mindset change? Did something happen?
So I'm in high school. The scholarship opportunity is pretty much gone. I'm finishing grade 12. And my world issues teacher, the only teacher in school that I listened to.
Wow.
And I took school serious because for me, it was a vehicle to get a scholarship.
For sure.
So I had high averages. I'd stay after school and ask my chemistry teacher questions. And I got tutoring when I needed it. But Mr. Loudfoot didn't follow a curriculum. Guy would just walk to the middle of the classroom and start screaming at us.
Yeah.
Like a university lecturer in high school.
Yeah.
And he would finish teaching a lesson and he'd be like, Ernesto, because you're passionate about football, this is what this lesson means to you. And Jason, because you're passionate about Portugal, this lesson means this to you.
Yeah.
And he just caught my interest, and he taught this lesson in class one day that you can shift things in your life by taking small, consistent actions. I got it tattooed on my left forearm, SCA, small, consistent actions. He's like, go in the world, choose a problem you want to solve, and take a small, consistent action towards solving it. That led to picking up pieces of garbage, walking home from high school. That was my first small action. And then a buddy saw me named Dylan driving home, pulls over beside me. He's like, dude, we should pick up trash together. We start something called the Waste Mans. This is what we called it.
The Waste Mans?
Back in 2017.
That's amazing.
And
What a brand.
we rebranded very quick to Pick Waste because I'm from Pickering. We were picking up trash. We start doing these Saturday morning garbage cleanups.
Okay.
We do it for 5.5 years.
Wow.
We fill over 3,500 bags of garbage. We start speaking in schools to recruit student volunteers.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, 15 presentations in, a principal pulls me aside, looks at me in the eyes. I didn't know him well.
Yeah.
He says, young man, you have a gift. You should keep doing what you're doing. Keep telling stories. People like when you share on stage.
Wow.
And that's all I needed. Somebody that I didn't know who believed in me. And I think that's what every human being needs.
Yeah.
Is words of belief from someone they don't expect it from.
True.
And I think that was the moment that really shifted my sights.
Yeah. And I think as an athlete, or, you know, being in love with sports and taking it very seriously, you learn a lot of skills, right? I always talk to successful entrepreneurs a lot. A lot of them have played sports high level. It's always beautiful to see, right? Because you're learning things, and you're getting these skills that can help you throughout your whole life. You know, I think I've said it many times, but if there's one piece of advice for, you know, someone younger, it's to play sports, or for a parent, it's to put your kid in sports.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you were unlocking those skills again that you were using in sport, but now in a different way? Because I know that's how I felt when I got into business. I was like, wait, but like, oh, this is something that I learned from soccer, or being a leader, or working hard, or staying extra time to work harder, right? Did you feel like you were unlocking those skills again? Did you feel like you were getting the passion you once had again in your life?
If you are a high-level athlete, you have an unfair advantage in life and business.
It's true.
Period.
Yeah.
Because you've already learned discipline. You've already learned communication. You've already learned having a positive mindset. You've already learned communicating with other people.
Yeah.
Teamwork. These are all things that apply in all areas of your life. I'll never forget my first coach that had an impact on me. His name was Bassam.
Okay.
A&B football.
Wow.
Out in King City. There was a time where we'd show up to practice, and there's this big cobblestone pathway. And I didn't know because I just joined the team. And I would take the shortcut down the grass. And I get to the bottom. It's like a 2-minute walk. And I walk over to my coach because you have to shake all the coaches' hands before practice starts. And I walk over to him and I shake his hand. And he looks at me and very calmly says, young man, please walk back up the hill and use the cobblestone path.
Wow.
And I was like, coach, you're joking. He goes, no. Put your bag down. Go walk back up there and walk down the path. It's like he taught me what it meant to show up with respect. You know, and there's so many countless lessons like that among my journey as an athlete with all my coaches that I've carried with me to this day.
Yeah. So Pick Waste was your first go at kind of like, it wasn't a business. Were you making money? No.
We thought we were going to turn it into a social enterprise.
Okay.
We're going to take this trash and turn it into something.
Okay.
No, there was no business involved. It was really just about mobilizing people and cleaning up the community.
But that did give you the opportunity to start speaking.
Which is the delightful surprise that happens when you show up to serve. I always say, you get in life what you give to others.
It's true.
You have good intentions. You live with love. Beautiful things happen.
Yeah.
Pick Waste led to speaking in high schools because we needed to recruit volunteers.
Okay.
I then start doing these 5-minute promotional talks. Principal pulls me aside. Young man, you have something special here. You should keep doing it. I go back home. I continue speaking, refining this little 5-minute performance. That same principal invites me back at Dumbarton High School to speak for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Tells me he's going to pay me for it.
Wow.
$50.
Not bad.
I was like, $50, 30 minutes? I'm going to retire my family.
Yep.
I know how minimum wage works.
And how old were you at that point?
17, 18.
Wow.
Just finishing high school.
Yeah.
I go back, do this 30-minute speech, pays me the $50. I thought maybe there's something I could do here. There's a way to marry something that I enjoy doing that the world sees as valuable. I went home. I searched youth speaker on Google. I called everybody I could find. Most professional speakers have their own cell phone in their contact section on their website. Most of them picked up the phone, and I asked them a bunch of questions.
Okay.
How do I start? How do I write a speech? What books should I read? What courses should I take? Who should I meet? Where should I go? And I just followed all their advice. That led to taking a break from my university studies.
Well, I was going to ask, did you go to university?
Only because all my friends did.
For sure.
And I also am not someone who publicly talks down on school and education, because I believe everyone has their own unique vision in life.
For sure.
It's about charting the best path to get there.
Of course.
If your path should take you through school, you'd be dumb not to take it.
Yeah.
But if your path is not going to help you by going to university or college, you're wasting your time going there. And for me as an artist, there's no class on how to become a professional speaker.
It's true.
How to build your career as an artist. And I went to University of Toronto Scarborough campus. I studied political science, convinced myself that I was going to change the world environmentally. Stayed there for a month and a half. Broke down crying, called my Italian and Greek parents.
How'd that go?
I was so nervous, I waited for them to leave the house.
Wow.
And they were at dinner with my aunt and uncle. And I called them because I didn't have the courage to talk to them face to face.
Damn.
Told them that I was really struggling with my mental health. I didn't want to be in school. And man, my parents gave me the biggest gift. They just said it's okay. What's the worst thing that could happen? You know, if your business venture doesn't work out, we can always put you back in school. School's a revolving door. If you have money for tuition and an interest to attend, they're gonna take it.
For sure.
Go give it a shot. It's like that gave me so much freedom to fail.
Of course.
And that's what every young person needs from the adults in their life, is permission to fail and fall flat on their face. And you know, slowly but surely, these $50 and $100 and $200 checks start showing up at the house. My dad's like, Sam Demma Enterprises, what is this? Sam, you got some mail. And yeah, they fully put the battery in my back. But it was really challenging for me to get over my own mental limitation around how my parents were going to react.
Yeah. And you said you were struggling with mental health at that time too. Was it mostly because you were afraid of what the people around you would say if you wanted to take this direction?
Yeah, I was still dealing with this feeling of not being enough because of my athletic journey.
Yeah.
And also not being certain about what the future was going to look like. And putting myself in a daily routine that I didn't want to be in. Like I remember a week before the midterm in university, I'm sitting with my friend Mohammed, and he's studying. And he looks at me on my computer, and I'm building a WordPress website. And he's like, bro, our midterm is next week. It's like I had no interest being a part of the life that I was creating at university.
Yeah. So
you repeat a routine you don't want to be in every single day for a long enough period of time. You feel like you're a failure. You're not sure what the future is going to hold. It weighs on you.
Yeah.
And I think it was a combination of all those things.
I think a lot of people are in that position even today, in that daily routine that's just weighing them down.
Yep.
You know? So you go to university, you're like, okay, I'm going to save the environment. That was the first thought.
Yeah.
But then you switch up and you're like, okay, so now, but what's going on in your head? Because the first messaging you had was the environment.
Yep.
Now, how are you positioning your new message and what's inspiring the new message?
What built the success of Pick Waste, I believe, can build the success in any avenue or venture.
Okay.
And it was the idea that doing something consistently changes everything. That a small, consistent action can make a massive change. I want to get spiritual for just a moment.
Yeah.
Everyone always says, well, not everybody, but there's a belief that the devil is this creature underground in a world filled with fire, and after you die, if you do bad things in life, he's waiting for you.
Get tossed in there. Yep.
No, I believe the devil is in every single one of our heads.
Yeah.
Every moment of our lives, nudging us. Hey, make that bad choice. Do that thing again you're not supposed to do. You know, act on that lustful impulse. Grab that pack of cigarettes. Sleep in. Don't call your family. Don't tell people you love them. And it's like, it's in our minds. Yeah. The opposite of this is following through on all those impulses we have that are positive.
Yeah.
Going to the gym, reading the books, showing up with love, choosing to serve other people. That was the heart of Pick Waste. It was like, what happens when we genuinely dedicate our hearts to something we care about and we show up consistently at it? Yeah. And I took that, and that became the message. What I realized is that it was never about changing the environment. It was about mobilizing people and telling stories that help people strive to be better in their communities, in their families, and in their lives.
Yeah. I think that's a great message, to be honest. I think we all have, I felt it before. I felt it my whole life. We have the angel and the devil, right? One's telling us one thing, the other's telling us something else. And I think you're talking about gut feeling as well.
Yeah.
Right? And your intuition, which I think, it's funny because every time I've followed my gut and followed my intuition, it's always been a blessing. Something good has happened. And then there's times where I won't follow it. Sometimes I'm even testing it just to see, is this for real? Like, is this going to work? And I regret it instantly. I'm like, I knew it and I still didn't do it. Right? I think that's a huge lesson. And I think what I'm getting from your story is that you're learning a lot of lessons very early in your life. You know? Okay, so you decide to go all in, no more university. You're like, let me do this. Small, consistent actions every day.
Yep.
And what's changing now in your life as you're doing this?
First thing I did was find a blueprint.
Okay.
I don't believe in starting from scratch. If there's someone else who's doing the thing you want to do, it is very stupid not to ask them questions. My mentor always said the quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. And if you don't know what questions to ask, go watch videos of other people that are doing your work. Yeah. Look at the questions they're asking, borrow those, and start asking people that are in higher positions those similar questions.
Okay.
So for me, that led to those phone calls I described earlier, which led to a course called Youth Speaker University. And I took this online program, and it said every day you have to call 20 principals. I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I took it to the next level and started filming videos instead of sending or making phone calls.
Okay.
It was actually at Pickering Public Library. I got a little mini whiteboard, and I'd write the principal's first name on it, and I'd sit in front of the window so I had good lighting.
Okay.
And I'd go on my laptop, and I'd hold up this little whiteboard, and I'd say, hey, Mark, my name's Sam. I'm coming to Waterloo May 4th for a speaking tour. It's going to last a week. I already have one of your colleagues' schools booked. I would love the opportunity to serve your school and your staff with some of my messages.
Wow.
If it sounds interesting, send me an email back. I did over 1,000, 2,000 of these Vidyard video messages in that first year.
Damn.
I got 30 bookings. And if you do the math, that's like a terrible conversion.
For sure.
But it got me started and gave me enough belief in the ability to make it happen to keep going.
When does it start becoming a real business for you?
Year 2.
Okay.
In the sense that I had some systems. I had more consistency.
Yeah.
The owner of a massive speaking agency calls me on the phone.
Okay.
Sam, we want to sign you to our agency.
Wow.
And I flew to California to meet this guy. I took his online program, like all this sort of stuff. This is going to change my life. Told my family about it. I had little sticky notes on my wall in my bedroom with this guy's name on it. He calls me, Sam, we want to invite you to the agency. I hang up the phone, tell everybody. A week later, get the contract. 14-page agreement. 10 years. 30% exclusive deal. We're going to take 30% of everything you do for the next decade. Books, you're just the author, not the owner of the intellectual property. Damn. If you leave the agreement, there's a $100,000 buyout. And if you leave the agreement, you have to send us monthly accounting of all the clients you're working with, because if any of them are ones that you were working with under our contract, you have to send us 30%. I had like so little success. This is year number 2, just to start. I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
I just listened to this little voice inside of my heart that made no sense to everybody else, and called the person up. I was like, I'm really sorry, man, but it just doesn't feel like the right decision for me to make. And he said, mark this day down as the best or worst decision you ever made in your entire life.
Damn.
Bro.
It's probably best.
I know it now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it took me about a week to make that decision back then. But I would say that moment was defining for me. Yeah. Because it forced me to reflect on, okay, if this guy was going to take 30% of my income, what if I just take 30% of my income and invest it in myself? True. And I hired a guy named Chris. Okay. $27,000. It's pretty much all the money I had at that time. And we had a coaching call every Tuesday for the next 3 years. Okay. Changed my whole life.
And what was he helping you with?
Any problem in business I bring to Chris. He's been a speaker for like 25, 30 years. Yeah. He just helped me solve it. You know, someone who's already walked the path is like, yo, there's going to be a pothole on your left in 500 meters. Make sure you don't fall in it. Yeah. There's also a branch near your head right now, smacks it out the way for you. Yeah. That's what Chris did for me. in all areas of my speaking business.
And at that point, I guess, what's motivating you to keep pushing forward? Is it you want to make money? Is it you want to prove people wrong? Is it that chip on your shoulder still from the soccer days?
Yeah.
You know, seeing someone else maybe on the gram and now they're signing to the MLS.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, I'm doing $200 a speaking gig now instead of 50. And, but, it's important because I think there are ups and downs and you just made a huge decision.
Yep.
I think when you make that kind of decision, as confident as you may seem, you still second guess yourself because you don't see the fruits of your labor or the fruits of that decision probably for years.
Yep.
So what's pushing you forward at that time?
First 3 to 5 years, purely my own lack of self-belief.
Wow.
And self-worth.
Wow.
Like I really felt like I had to show the world that Sam wasn't a failure.
Wow.
That my effort wasn't a waste. That I am the person that I told everybody I was. Growing up, everyone saw me. No alcohol, no drugs, no girlfriend. Didn't own a video game console my entire childhood. Like it was just athletics. And then you get to the end of this decade, 12 years of sacrifice for a sport, and you have nothing to show for it. And what I didn't realize is that the most valuable thing from your effort is not an external outcome or object or achievement. It's who you become in the process. And I was that same beast.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show, I don't know why, but I felt like I needed to show everybody I'm not a failure. I am a success. And I burned on that bad fuel for probably like 3 to 5 years. And it moved mountains.
Yeah.
And then one day I woke up, middle of the night, 2 a.m., couldn't sleep. And I wrote letters to the people that doubted me.
Damn.
Yeah, and I never sent it to them. I have one for the agency owner. It's like a long-ass message. I have one from a couple of previous people I've worked with in the past that did some stuff that really hurt me. And shifted my focus away from proving people wrong to just trying to shine my light as bright as I could in the service of other people.
Yeah.
And that's changed the game for me too.
I think it's amazing that you did that. I always tell people, wherever you get the fire from, use it.
Yeah.
Use it. Whether that is proving someone wrong, someone that might have doubted you. And like you said, it pushed you 3 to 5 years. It doesn't have to push you for 30 years. You're going to find something else that's going to push you.
Yeah.
But that can be your start point, right? Did you feel like, what kind of fulfillment were you getting from speaking? What were you getting from it? Like, were you feeling like, damn, I feel more worthy now. Damn, that smile on that kid's face, like, that's something I didn't feel actually in sports. Like, what kind of fulfillment were you getting? Because that's also a driver for you at that point, for sure.
So the first thing I want to say is I was never supposed to be a soccer player. And it took me years to have peace with this sort of perspective.
That's tough.
Yeah, speaking wasn't plan B.
Yeah.
Soccer was preparation for the person I had to become to be able to impact the people I'm impacting now.
Yeah.
It's not a plan B. This was always supposed to be my journey. And it's taken me a lot of conversations with people to come to that.
Yeah.
Dude, I get emails on a weekly basis. You saved my life.
Yeah.
Bro, there was a 13-year-old kid shows up on my Instagram live call. I'm walking on a treadmill in my parents' basement. And he tells me, I walked to the edge of a cliff at 2 a.m. and was ready to jump off. Went and checked my phone one final time on Instagram. I find one of your videos.
Wow.
Sat down, scrolled through 2 hours of your stuff.
Wow.
His mom's emailing me. My son said he's going to use his life savings to fly to your show in Calgary.
Damn.
What are we talking about, bro?
Yeah.
That or kicking a soccer ball?
I know.
Like, the impact is just, I feel like if I don't show up, I'm letting people down now.
For sure.
And I love it, so it works well for me regardless.
Yeah.
But it's overwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a good way?
In a great way.
In a great way.
There's challenges too.
Yeah.
You feel like there's a responsibility attached to it, right?
Of course. You can't take a day off, really.
But that also...
You don't post that one video, it could potentially save a kid's life now.
Like, it's a lot, bro.
Right?
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility.
What I want to... More internally now, because the journey that you're on, maybe things have changed the last 5 years, but you said there's no girlfriend, there's, you
Sure.
and your coach going in, and it's... And you're going to speaking gigs, maybe you're traveling, maybe you're there, maybe you're prepping the whole night before. That's a lonely life.
Yeah.
It's lonely.
Yeah.
So how are you getting through that loneliness? Because I think a lot of people, they won't take that path simply for the fact because they don't want to be lonely. They'll be like, well, I don't want to be alone. And again, going back to the footy days, you're with a team.
Yeah. With
a coach. And you had your coach at that time, like you said, you had your version of a sports coach, let's say.
Yep.
But how are you dealing with the feeling of being alone at that point? Because even on a stage, right? You're on a stage talking to hundreds of people. You leave and you go home and you're back to being alone and back to working, right? So how are you dealing with that? Because I think a lot of our audience does feel that at times, right? And it's something they try to avoid. I know I did for a long time too, where I'm just like, I don't want to be alone. I'd rather not. How did you get through those times? And how do you still get through those times? Because I know there's still the lonely times for you.
The part of the journey I do the worst job sharing is the lonely moments. And there's more of them than there are exciting ones.
For sure.
You go on stage and speak to 1,000 people, run back to a hotel room, silence. Hop on planes, nonstop, flying by yourself.
Yeah.
I stopped seeing strangers as strangers and started seeing them as people I just never met yet. And started striking up conversations with whoever I'm around.
Okay.
Whether it's the person I'm sitting next to on an airplane or a bus driver. And it's funny because those same conversations become a lot of the stuff that I share online. That's one of the ways while I've been working and traveling that I find more human connection with people.
Okay.
But if I'm being super vulnerable right now with you on the show, I still struggle with it.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for people. I'm still looking for one myself. I try my best to put myself in spaces where I feel appreciated and I feel connection with people. I call my grandparents on a weekly basis. I call my boys when I travel. But there's a price tag for success. And you don't walk into stores if you don't have enough money to pay for their clothing. You choose a different store. And if you're not willing to pay the price of loneliness for a period of time, it's really challenging to aim for this massive dream, goal, and vision. Most of them are going to require some really challenging times. And I made a decision that it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for a period.
For sure.
Yeah.
Talk about sacrifice. What else have you had to sacrifice on this journey so far?
Stuff I had to give up, man.
Because again, we're gonna get into your present day success. The last year or two has been really big for you. I know that.
Yeah.
But like you said, it comes with a price. And I think people need to understand that price a bit more.
Yep.
So talk to us about the sacrifices that you've made and you continue to make.
Man, I have friends that I loved so deeply, and the relationships totally vanished once things started working out. Because sometimes your success in life makes other people uncomfortable, and you have no idea it's happening. And we used to talk on a daily basis. I've had to let go of relationships that I cherished and loved, not because I even wanted to, but the other person was uncomfortable, and they couldn't figure out how that relationship could manage.
Yeah.
I had to move on when people wronged me, and understood that, maybe there was something happening in their life. I had to sacrifice fighting for what was right in certain scenarios. I've never talked about this publicly. I was robbed in Kenya.
Really?
I almost potentially couldn't have made it out alive. I've never told the story.
Well, tell me.
Yeah, so 14-year-old kid messages me. This is 5 years ago.
Okay.
Hey, man, watching your videos, love your content. You should come to Kenya. I was like, hey, man, no.
Yeah, obviously.
It's bro, my mom doesn't even let me sleep over at my friend's house. You think she's going to let me go to Kenya?
Yeah.
I don't even have money. The business is just starting. At the time, I was 17, 18. It was right at the start of my career. It was right after my TEDx talk came out.
Okay.
Small, consistent actions. Fast forward a few years. This kid's messaging me every other week. Yo, come to Kenya. Come to Kenya. I'm like, no, man. Mom still says no. He's like, give me your mom's phone number. I was like, that's really inappropriate. No. This goes on years. So about a year and a half ago, I'm like, we actually have some money now. This would be a cool idea. Let's do a give back project. We hop on a Zoom call, 6 months, plan out this 6-week speaking tour in Kenya, 21 school communities, 7 different cities.
Wow. We
send all the money, book all the hotels, hire the staff, get the rental car. find packing peanuts locally to fill the giant backpack. Like, do all this stuff. We go to Kenya. We're traveling around. First couple of days, things are very unorganized. Very unorganized. But I'm meeting people. I'm having really cool experiences. And the reason I haven't shared this story publicly is because I don't want it to overshadow how beautiful of an experience it still was.
Of course.
Close to the end of our trip, I want to say like 5 weeks in, the driver of our vehicle knocks on our door, and we're staying in this motel-looking building. I don't know any of the cities. I'm not driving my car. I don't speak the language. Knocks on my door. I open it up. Full-grown man, bawling his eyes out. Sam, I haven't been paid. I was like, what are you talking about? I never got my paycheck. So I sent all the money like 6 months ago to book everything. Yeah, well, the young man who planned your whole trip keeps telling me you're going to get paid at the end. So I go knock on his door. I'm like, yo, Tito's telling me he hasn't been paid. What's going on? No, the money's coming. The money's coming. Come to find out, the young person we planned the trip with, the moment we sent him the money, hosted a 2,000 person event in Kenya, booked the largest venue, had these massive public figures come out. He moved out of where he was living into an apartment building, bought suits, nice shoes, flat screen TV. All of his friends were like, Brian, where's all this money coming from? They thought he'd just become this success. Guy spent all the money and then told everybody they were going to get paid at the end of the project. We were short like $5,000 or $6,000, which in the grand scheme of things, thank God it wasn't hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
You know? And it was this moment where I was like, what do we do now? Because if this guy's been lying the whole time, dude, we were in his car with his connections. We could have took one wrong turn.
For real.
And the thing I'm most proud of in my life is I didn't allow the devil to talk me into doing some craziness. I sat down, looked him in the eye, and said, this is not how I operate. Here's a bus ticket. You're going home this morning. And then we booked flights out of Kenya that night and flew to Tanzania to my buddy's friend's house.
Wow.
And if you're listening to this thinking, what's the lesson here? People have to live with the choices they make. And if the choices you make in your life are ones that you're proud of, even if you get wronged, you can still go home and sleep at night. And I did after I got back home.
Damn.
So I've had to let go of anger.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I probably would have reacted a bit differently. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I got to tell you. So like there was also 2 other people involved.
Okay.
So the guy who we got the rental car from was one of this guy's friends. Okay. And they were like outing each other like a triangle. And then there was a third guy who was posed as a government official. Posed as this billionaire. Went out to dinner with him and showing us pictures of all these influential people.
Yeah.
And bro, the moment I found out something fishy was happening, my phone starts blowing up. Like 2 a.m, bro. Guys calling me. Sam, you're walking with the devil. Be careful. All 3 of them are working on this together. Like a triangle.
Wow.
And they'd out each other. And I thought like, oh my goodness, this guy's helping me. Next thing you know, end of our phone call. Hey man, can you wire me 250,000 shillings? Bro, crazy story.
Oh my God.
Like absolute bonkers. The last week in Kenya was a complete nightmare.
And this was super early in your career. This was like you said.
This was last summer.
Oh, last summer.
This was not early enough that it wasn't, a massive
true.
financial challenge. But like crazy experience.
How do you like go through that and then not have trust issues now traveling? Because you continue to travel, obviously.
Yeah, I do.
Right?
And I've been so cautious about telling this story because I don't want it to overshadow the good stuff.
No, I think it's you dealt with a few bad apples.
Yeah.
I think every country has that.
I think it's a blessing that I experienced it now.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Because I'm like, I used to have blinders on. I was like, yo, everyone's an angel. Nah, man, some people don't have your best interests in heart.
Yeah.
And it's taught me lessons. If I'm doing work that side of the world, I've now realized you don't have to book anything in advance.
Yeah.
You have the highest leverage when you walk up to the counter on the spot. In here in North America, you book everything in advance, you save money. There, you book in advance, they wash you.
Yeah.
You lose money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of learnings and things that I'm fortunate I've been able to absorb as a result of the whole situation.
Yeah.
But it goes back to what we started with. I have to believe that other people are good and honest, or else you become a pessimist and your whole life falls apart.
Yeah. Dude, because you could have went through that and been like, I'm done with traveling.
Yeah.
I'll never come back here again. But let's talk about now the last 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you really took it to a whole other level. What's been happening the last 2 years that you've been able to just skyrocket now? Because even media-wise, social media-wise, content-wise, you're adding layers to your business and your brand, right? You got your studio, but you also have the books. Talk about all that and talk about when you started to layer these things in and how it's affected the last few years.
The biggest factor to the success is, in my personal opinion, when I've looked back, is just trying my best to do right by other people. And I think it's just taken 7 years for it to compound. That's the first thing, first and foremost, that I want people to take away. When you give good things come back to you. You get what you desire for others. Perfect example. Christmas comes around. You know who never gets a phone call from their clients wishing them Merry Christmas? Financial advisors.
It's true.
They're the ones calling all their clients.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they get calls from friends and family. So I picked up the phone. I called my financial advisor, Leaf. I'm like, hey, man, I know it's a few days before Christmas. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas. I'm sure you're always the one calling your clients, but I just want to say how much I appreciate you taking interest in helping me in my financial success. Sam, I got tickets to a Matt Rife concert in January. Don't you love comedy? I'm going to take you out.
Sick.
Bro, I did not call him because I thought he had tickets to a show and was going to bring me out to watch it. I called him because I wanted to say thank you. And I think if you live that way long enough, 7-8 years, the natural byproduct is beautiful things happening. The second thing is I found someone who was playing on a level I couldn't even comprehend. Another coach.
Okay.
I graduated from Chris. I found Dan. Dan Martell wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time. I read the book. It said stop being foolish and doing $10 tasks in your business. If you want to build a multi-million-dollar business, you have to outsource those to team members. Start hiring people. Took his whole hiring playbook. Hired an executive assistant. Then hired him as my coach. Won a testimonial contest. Flies me out to Austin, Texas. I spend 24 hours with him watching how he operates. And he pulls me aside and he basically says, you can handle more responsibility in your life. Stop playing small. I'm like, shit. Okay, what does that mean? He's like, you need to go all in on media. It'll change your life. Okay, what does that mean? 2 things. Dollars invested, time on your own calendar. I was like, okay, where do I start? It's like putting out a video a day. So I went home, made the decision. Start of 2025. I'm going all in on media. I've been doing all this work, 150 events a year, speaking at schools. No one knows about it. I'm not sharing it publicly much.
Yeah.
I go online, I hire a guy full time, travel the world with me and document all the speeches. We're going to post a video a day. I hire a guy in January. February. He lives in British Columbia. I'm moving. I'm going to come move to Toronto. Start looking at apartments. I buy an office space in Markham. Mid-March, calls me crying. I can't do it, man.
Damn.
I'm starting my own business. You really inspired me all this time we spent traveling together.
Fuck.
Like, you know, man, as much as I'm upset, if that's the impact I have on people, I'm like, that's my life. That's what it's supposed to be. It is what it is. I'm not looking back. I have this bag of gear now. Okay. I'm going to make a commitment to bringing this bag of gear to every single performance. And so I have. And I set it up at the back of the room, and I ask a student to stand behind it and move the camera left and right, push the stop and start button.
Wow.
I hired a guy named Matt, online, video editor, head of media now for us. Guy edits 2 clips every single day, posts them across all platforms. We went consistent from January until May 24th. Nothing blew up. And before that, I've been trying content for years.
For sure.
May 24th, first video blows up. And then it's like, God was just like, yo, I see you're knocking on this door for 7 years. Here you go. And I don't know, 6 months, we added over 1 million followers across all platforms.
Wow.
And everyone's like, where's this guy? What happened? How did this happen?
Yeah.
It's been 8 years.
I know.
Now we just shed some light on it, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember the video that it was?
Yeah, it was a video about a flight attendant named Josh.
Okay.
You want to know the story?
No. I just want to know if you remember the viral moment.
We still have it. So yeah, there's a
For
video
sure.
of this guy named Josh, and it was actually funny enough. It was at our book launch for Be Someone's Taco.
Okay.
Kids picture book.
Yeah.
And one of my most meaningful events because my grandparents were there.
Oh.
The ones that are still living, the 3 of them, they were all sitting front row. The book's dedicated to them, and yeah, it was a really special experience.
Let's talk about how much you were like. investing in that content and the media side?
Yeah.
You don't have to give me the exact numbers, but I want to let people know that you were probably, you know, spending everything that you had.
Yeah.
I know that because I've done it. So talk about how tough that was for you, but how you also kept going and also how much you were investing, right? Because people will look at it and be like, okay, well, the way I look at it is much different. You know, if I make $10,000 a month, I'll spend $10,000 on myself, but in an investment way. Yeah. Right. So were you doing that?
Yeah. Imagine this. You do 9 flights a month. Okay. Double that. All your flights. Cause now you have another person traveling with you. You need a bag of gear. We spent $10,000 on the cameras and stuff that this guy had to use. Yeah. Then he had a salary for each month on top of all those things. Then we decided to get a studio. So now we have lease payments every single month. Then we had to buy gear to fill it. So we furnished it. We dropped like 30, 40,000 just on setting up the space. Yeah. This is before any of the viral videos. This is back in like February, before anything worked. I think the world rewards bold decision making.
It does.
You have to make these investments before anything works out.
Yeah.
And then the biggest factor of all is time, like my own time.
Okay.
I've had a daily meeting with my editor every day since our content started blowing up.
Sick.
And we look back at yesterday's videos and make assumptions as to why it did or didn't work, and then adjust stuff moving forward.
And how are you using that time that you've kind of bought back for yourself now, right? Because now you have a team.
Yep.
There's more responsibility, more pressure. Like you said, you have lease payments, you have this, you have that. But now how are you utilizing that time?
Everything in my business becomes easier when I write.
Okay.
More stories, more content, practicing my speeches on stage.
Okay.
And so I've moving into 2026, I'm not taking any meetings before 12 noon. Okay. Meetings are no longer than 30 minutes long. But from when I wake up until lunchtime is purely going to be time for creativity, writing content, working on new books and products. And I think for me, that's the biggest unlock moving into this year.
And even when it comes to the speaking, right? I read that you spoke on 750 plus stages.
Yep.
That's insane.
It's a lot.
First of all, that's crazy. Good for you. That's impressive. And this is more for someone that maybe wants to get into the same space as you.
Yep.
How were you able to start charging more as a speaker? What were you attributing that to? Was it, okay, my following grew, I can charge more? My time is getting more valuable. Yep. How are you increasing that price and making sure that your time is being valued properly?
At the start, you make up a number that the market's willing to pay.
Yeah.
A couple $100 is what I started at. Over time, it becomes supply and demand.
Yeah.
You can increase your fees when supply or demand outweighs what you have to supply.
Yeah. And
I got to a point where, like, there was one tour we did where I drove my grandma's minivan across Canada.
That's amazing.
We called it the Empty Your Backpack Speaking Tour. 2008 Pontiac, Montana. Drove it from Ontario to Vancouver Island and back. We did 87 schools in 90 days.
Wow.
And most of those schools were like 2 or 3 performances a day.
Oh my God.
And I'll never forget, like, you want to talk about suffering your mental health. There was moments where every day kids were telling me crazy stuff they were going through. Yeah. And halfway through the tour, they'd tell me something and I didn't even feel it.
Wow.
I was disconnected with my own emotions. But it got to a point in my career where I could book a speech every day if I wanted to. So the only viable option was to bump the fees a little bit so some more people would start telling me no.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I realized my highest leverage activities are not only speaking on stage, it's also creating content and posting videos. And so I bumped the fees a little more to reduce the amount of yeses we've been getting. So I think if you're just starting, the money is not what you should be focused on. But if you've been in the arena for a long period of time, it's a lever you can play with.
Yeah. And even in terms of the audiences that you're speaking to,
yeah,
I feel like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but you started with a younger audience, and now you're talking about universities as well, speaking at those. Was there a reason that you started with, younger kids?
I was a student myself.
Yeah.
When I started, I was speaking to my peers.
True.
I was doing university speeches at the beginning as well, and I was younger than the people in the audience.
That's insane. Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Yo, we're going to a bar after this. You want to come?"
Yeah. Like, bro, I'm fucking 17.
Super weird, man. Super weird. I always tell people I will go wherever I'm called. If I can be of service, I will show up.
Yeah.
You sit down to watch a movie with your little cousins and you watch Joy. a Disney film, and you start crying.
Yeah.
And you're like, I thought this was for little kids.
Yeah.
A well-told story connects with all ages. And it took me a long time to realize that the messages I'm sharing with younger people could be similar messages that I share with adults as well.
True.
Or professionals. You know, like 2 weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, I spoke for the Regional Task Force on Homelessness.
Wow.
1,300 people across California that house homeless. In January, I'm speaking for the National Asphalt Paving Association. What are we talking about,
and
bro?
the messaging you're saying is the same.
I tell different stories.
Of course.
But many of the big ideas are similar.
Of course.
Yeah.
And when it comes to our youth, I think, our youth are in bad shape right now. I'll be honest. With everything though, society's not the greatest. I don't want to be a negative person, but I'll be real too, right? What I want to know from you is what have you noticed in our youth are some of the biggest problems right now? More in terms of not externally, but maybe mindset, the way that they think. What have you noticed a lot?
That's a good question. I think one of the biggest challenges facing our youth today is addiction to their phones. Like, hands down. And I'm speaking from personal experience myself as well. It is such a knee-jerk reaction to pull out your phone and waste your time scrolling away.
Yeah.
I think young people are also dealing with mental health. Never before this much. Is like, it's just ridiculous. Everyone is dealing with something. The desire to fit in, because there's so many people to compare yourself to now in the world. You feel so behind and alone. And not enough espresso.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But like, I really think those are some of the biggest issues.
Yeah. And I think, we need more people like you for our youth, for sure. Because I just don't think that they're being guided the right ways. Maybe if there's a parent watching this right now, what advice would you give to them?
Let your kid fail. Let your kid fail. Let him fall. Let her fall flat on their face.
Yeah.
And learn, it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail. I didn't lose my life. We can learn from this and move forward. Sit down with your kids every single night before you go to sleep and journal with them. When I'm a parent, this is what I'm doing with my kid. We get to the end of the day, we're sitting down together, we're pulling out a blank piece of paper, and we're writing about the people we met, the decisions we made, the mistakes we made every day. And each page is time-stamped. Like, this day, this time, this is the location.
Yep.
I've learned so much in my life from reflection. Yet no parent is talking about doing it with their kids.
Yeah.
They don't tell you to do it in school. Every book I've written started as stories in the pages of my journal. Every idea I've had started in the pages of my journal. There's images of stick figures with giant backpacks. The whole outline of my website is in my journal. I think those are two things that parents got to be doing with their kids, letting them fail and reflecting with them.
Yeah. And you would think the schools, after like having you in, right, and the impact that you have clearly, would be like, you know what Sam said, maybe we should implement that ourselves. So we don't have to keep paying his big fee that's going to keep getting bigger. Why don't we just learn from this?
Yeah.
But another question I have, and you kind of mentioned it, is how do you stay, emotionally grounded when you're getting all these types of messages? Because it could weigh a lot on you. I want to dive deeper into that because I could only imagine, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I get them in more of a business side.
Yeah.
Where it's like, like you inspired me to run this business and start this, or, hire someone. But you're talking about, not almost, but life or death most of the time.
Bro, I got an email last week from a single dad. His message literally said, I'm a single dad. I have 2 kids, 11 and 13 years old. Financially, things are falling apart, and my 13-year-old is dying from bone cancer. What am I supposed to do?
How do you even answer that?
How do I answer that question, man?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I've had to consciously make a decision to free myself of feeling like I need to save people. That's not my job.
Okay.
I hope I will. But I can't carry that on my back. I'm not a savior. I'm here to spread love and shine a light. And my hope is that it helps people have the courage to start having those conversations. I can't be the therapist. I can't be there for everyone. And it's so hard. And most of the messages I don't talk about.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. It's gotten to a point now where it feels normal.
Yeah.
And in my head, I've said, Sam, you're not here to save. You're here to support. When I have capacity, I pick up the phone.
Yeah.
I call people. I call them. Hey, it's Sam. I probably can't solve all your problems, but I want to let you know that I saw your message and I care about you. Bro, you should hear what people say. What? I can't believe it. Thank you so much for reaching out. Like, let me help you connect to some support. Where do you live? And we'll just make a connection.
Yeah.
But like, it's not my job to save. It's my job to support and shed light.
It's just tough.
It's just hard, man.
Yeah. Right.
It's hard.
It's tough to put yourself in that headspace where it's like, I can't. Yeah, it's tough because it is. You do know how to help people, but like you said, you can't always. There's going to be millions of people.
Yep.
You're going to keep growing.
Yep.
Right. There's going to be tens of millions of people. It's tough. You have to be super strong mentally.
It's hard, man.
I think that's like a muscle that you got to keep working on.
Yep.
Right. Was there ever like a message that you got where you're like, you know what? I wish I really didn't know that. Was there one that you really remember or?
Bro, there's one I still think about to this day. I get a contact form inquiry on my website.
Okay.
And it's from a student. And the text block in the message just said, I'm thinking about taking my life. And it was one of the first times I had a message from a young person that was about suicide. This is like almost a year ago now. And I was like, holy shit. Like, someone's going to kill themselves. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So what do? Pick up my phone. Call. No answer. Send an email. No answer. I then get a voicemail on my phone. Mumbling voice of a 13-year-old student telling me she doesn't want to live anymore.
Wow.
She did tell me in the voicemail that I spoke at her school, which is why she reached out. And it was a school in Ontario.
Okay.
It's like 6 p.m. now. I called the school. Everyone's closed. No one's still at school. I emailed the staff to let them know what's going on. It's after hours. They're probably not looking at their school emails. So what do? Call the police.
Wow.
I'm like, this is the student's first name and last name on my contact form. I don't know where they are. I know this is the school they go to. I'm hoping with that information you could find them. Bro, cops show up to the house. She's crying upstairs. Family has no idea she's struggling.
Wow.
I still have the voicemail on my phone because it gave me like it broke me, man.
Yeah.
And it's just tough. There's so many people that are struggling. Yeah. There's so many people that are going through battles that no one else knows about.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. No one walks around with a t-shirt on that says, I'm dealing with challenges. Help me. I just got a divorce. I just lost my job.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to pay rent next week. So by default, just assume people need support and show up with love and light because it'll help people. Did you know that Robin Williams had a statement in his contract that said, if you hire me for your movie set, you are required to hire 10 to 15 homeless people in the area to work on the job site?
Wow.
He's not saving people, but he's using his position of privilege to help others. That's what I want to be remembered for. You know, that my success led to helping millions of other people, even if it was indirect.
Yeah. What do you think about men in our society, young men especially? You know, you see the suicide rates of men. It's very sad.
Yep.
You know, we're two men right here. Is there something you're noticing in men that's attributing to that? Do you think, mindset-wise, maybe society, but, you know, we have a huge male audience.
Yep.
And I think it's very sad.
Yeah.
You know, I see a lot of men, young men, older men too. 50 years old, 60, they have no purpose. Or it feels like they've given up.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that, and what are you seeing on your side?
I'll tell you why I've struggled as a man in the hope that it serves other men.
Okay.
I lied to others and to myself, mostly to myself. But I'll never forget, I was in grade 7, most embarrassing story ever. I dared the new kid at school to grab a girl's boobs that I had a crush on.
Wow.
I've never told this out. Like, this is ridiculous right now.
It's what kids do.
Listen,
Yeah.
I go home from school, my buddy Nick takes the blame. I'm scot-free.
Wow.
But I go home, I'm sitting on the bed, just filled with guilt because my parents didn't raise me to lie to people. My dad gets home from work. He's like, Sam, is everything okay? I start bawling. I tell my dad what happened. He drives me back to the school. I sit in the principal's office, tell him the truth. I get a 2-day suspension. But it reinforces in my mind, lying is never the answer. But what happens over time is we start drifting and lying to ourselves. Not so much other people. Like, we make that mistakes, hopefully, and we learn from them.
Yeah.
But we lie to ourselves about how much we're showing up for ourselves. We lie about saying to everyone else, oh, we're doing great. But deep inside, we're struggling. You want to shift how you're feeling as a man? Make a commitment to telling the truth to yourself and to others. If you're in a relationship you don't want to be in, have the balls and the courage to tell your partner, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I don't want to waste your time. We need to move on. You feel alone? Tell your boys. You need help? Go get therapy. Stop lying. Stop the lies. And you start making progress.
Yeah. I think that the lying to yourself is huge, you know? I think we both went through that, to be honest, you know, through our journeys, right? And it's sad. And again, it goes back to guidance and you know, who are young men supposed to look up to, really? Yeah. You know, again, there's the athletes and there's that, but I'm really thinking now, it's like, it's really people like you, like, seriously.
I have one more thing to share, though.
Go ahead.
As a young man, please stop putting other people on pedestals. High-level athletes, entrepreneurs, authors you look up to.
Yeah.
I promise you, the closer you get to people, you realize they're all humans. And every human is imperfect. People are going to make mistakes and let you down.
Yeah.
I've put so many people on pedestals and thought, this person is who I want to be. Get really close, see a mistake they make, and I'm like, I don't think I would ever do that. Guess what? We're all going to slip up.
Yeah.
We're all going to do things that we're not proud of. It's a part of being a human being.
Yeah.
Learn from them and try your best not to do it again in the future. But if you put someone else on a pedestal and you completely dedicate your life to looking up to them, you're taking the responsibility out of your own hands to change your own life because they have some special godlike feature.
Yeah.
No, they're another broken, imperfect human being just like you are.
Yeah.
You know?
I think another thing is just accountability. And I don't see much of it nowadays.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Right? Again, I don't want this pod to be negative. I just want it to be real, where I'm experiencing right now people in my life that don't want to be accountable. You know? And when you're not accountable for something, then you lack the communication. And you were talking about it too. There's people in your family and this and that. Same with me. And I think accountability is something that, like, people will pretend their whole life. That's crazy.
Yep.
Isn't that insane?
Nuts. Like,
I pretended for 5-6 years and I avoided accountability.
Yep.
But I know people that they've been doing it for 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Can I give you a groundbreaking idea?
Yeah.
Stop giving yourself affirmations that are lies. If you're fat, the affirmation should be you looking in the mirror saying, I'm fat.
Yeah.
If you're upset and you're lonely, the affirmation should be, I'm lonely.
Yeah.
Because if you face the truth, that's the only opportunity you have to fix and change things.
For sure.
And I think, man, it's so hard when you want it for somebody else more than they want it for themselves. That's the part I struggle with.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, I'm willing to come to the table.
Yep.
I'm willing to bring my problems and my mistakes if you're willing to bring yours. But if someone else is not willing to bring theirs.
At what point do you stop, though? Do you stop forcing something like that? Because that's tough. Because that can also eat away at you. Because, again, you might have very genuine intentions.
Yep.
You went through your own learning.
Yep.
You know yourself. And because of that, it could eat you.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh, like, but if I try again,
yep,
I'm the good. Let me try again. Let me be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And you know, there was one thing that I said, and maybe someone else has said it too, but if you're always being the bigger person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
And I truly believe that, because that happened to me for a long time, where I'm like, you know, it's okay, Ernesto's gonna fix it, or it's okay, Ernesto will communicate. And I'm just looking around and it's like, okay, but like, when's it gonna be someone else? Right? So maybe talk about at what point do you just stop forcing something, like trying to make someone be accountable for their actions.
Yep.
Or trying to make someone come to the table and communicate. Well, at what point?
If I lead with vulnerability, I own up to my mishaps.
Yeah.
And I share my perspective, and the other person, all they do is point fingers, there's no,
Yeah.
we're not at a space right now where we can move forward.
Yeah.
You need to blame yourself first.
Yeah.
The advice I gave at the start, if two people are not willing to blame themselves first, you're not moving forward with any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring my vulnerability and my mistakes to them without pointing fingers. I want to own up to how I've contributed to this problem we're in right now. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's no reciprocal vulnerability and honest reflection on their part, I move forward.
Yeah.
That's the moment for me.
You have to put your foot down.
Yeah. And I do it respectfully.
For sure.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going anywhere. Let's talk again in the future.
Yeah.
And then you do what Dan Martell says. You be a lighthouse, not a tugboat.
Mm.
Some people try to pull people along their whole lives because they believe in them more than they believe in themselves. No. Just become the brightest lighthouse you can be.
Yeah.
Be the living, breathing example of the philosophy you share with the people you love in the hope that those things will change them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can do.
Dude, I really used to be like that. I used to just try and pull everyone with me, you know? Oh, but like I'm doing the right thing. Or one day they'll turn on and I'll have to pull a little lighter, you know? But man, last 2 years I just had to put my foot down a lot. Maybe more, maybe last 2-3 years. And it's sad, but again, when you know yourself and you're moving with the right intentions, you know, I think you'll be just okay. You'll be fine.
It goes back to the Kenya experience. Like we got burnt. I thought I was going to lose my life.
Yeah.
But I didn't lose my control of my emotions. I acted with integrity. And it's hard to do it. But if you live that way always, even in the shitty moments,
Yeah.
you can go to sleep.
Yeah.
It might hurt. It might be difficult. You might cry a lot. But you know in your heart you've done the right thing. And if you haven't, stop lying and acting like you have and go back and repair those things.
Yep.
Even if the relationship's gone.
Yep.
You know, the first tour we did, I was an asshole. I was a terrible manager. I didn't know how to manage people before. How can you expect someone to know how to manage a team when they've never managed a team? One of my best buddies who came on tour with me, we don't even talk anymore.
Wow.
It took me a whole year to stop blaming everything else except for myself. And I filmed a 2-minute video sitting in a hotel room for him and his girlfriend explaining why I was sorry. And they accepted the apology. We're not friends still. We're probably never going to be friends again. But it gave me permission to go sleep at night.
Yeah. And you've mentioned a lot of like, you know, sometimes you have to blame yourself.
Yep.
Sometimes it is your fault.
Yep.
Most of the time it is. But how do you, because there's two sides.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yep.
And you can also fall into a very victim
Yeah.
type
It's always
world.
me.
You know, oh, that's just me. That's just how, like, it could really become a victim mentality, which again, I see a lot of.
Yep.
You know, the way I look at it is I'll blame myself, but then it's also time for me to act and make sure things are better then.
Yep.
But there's also the other side where you blame yourself and you fall into that deep hole where you're like, well, this is just my life and I'm fat
Yeah.
or I'm this or I'm broke.
Yeah.
Guess just what it is. How do you distinguish the two for someone listening?
Yeah. So my whole thought process on it is you blame yourself first when stuff doesn't go the way you expected it to. If there's no one else involved. All right. You blame yourself first. Then you reflect. Why didn't it work out? Well, because I didn't do this, and this. And you got to shift your habits. If we're talking about losing weight or a personal goal. If it's a relationship with another person or a business partner and something goes wrong and you know there's fault on both sides, you blame yourself first in a attempt to give the other person the space to say, you know what? I was wrong too. Let's repair this together.
Yeah.
And in the moment, if that person takes no responsibility and you both know and you know in your heart, like, no, this was both of us. They take no responsibility. I don't just continue blaming myself. I remove myself from the situation. It's a one-time, 2-time, 3-time scenario tops. You know, if we're talking about a relationship, let's say you're dating someone and they cheat on you. You're not going to go, oh, that was my fault. You know, I don't have chiseled abs, so you want to sleep with somebody else? That's okay. You know, it's me. It's not you. No. People make decisions. If they're willing to face the truth and talk through it with you, relationship stuff aside now, You blame yourself, they blame themselves, you figure it out together. After a few times, you have to remove yourself from the situation.
Agreed. You've had a year with a lot of growth. What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned, A, about yourself this year?
Yeah.
And B, about other people?
Biggest thing I've learned about myself this year. You know the truth? We're not even scratching the surface on what's possible. All of us, not even close. And I'm not talking about just professionally in terms of business. I'm talking about all areas in life. Things have happened this year that I thought were impossible. I thought would never happen for me. And what I keep reflecting on is that when I first started journaling, I wrote down, man, if I could just book one speech a month, I'd feel like the world's happiest man. Everything would be working out in my life. Man, if I could just make, my first financial goal, make $10,000 in a year. And I'm looking back and I'm like, well, if that felt impossible, but it became my reality, and doing a tour across the country felt impossible, and that became my reality, and growing the socials felt impossible, and I wrote it down as a goal 2 years ago, and it's my reality today, isn't it true that the crazy things that seem impossible that I'm writing in my journal right now could also be reality in a couple years? That's the biggest thing I learned about myself. I'm dreaming too small. Wow. I am my own ceiling. The limitations we create in life are ones that we set up in our own minds, not that anyone else places on us. The only difference between you and someone else that you always look up to is they have the courage and belief to dream a bigger dream, to set a bigger sight. And I think that's the biggest thing I've learned about myself this year is I'm going to stop dreaming small and start pushing it real big. And if I become a bigger, more valuable person, the world also improves. Yeah. If you're living in terms of wanting to impact people and make a difference. Yeah. Biggest thing I learned about other people don't change when you want them to. They change when they're ready. You can't make anybody else change. You can't control people. There's been so many scenarios where I've wanted someone else to just shift this thing or that thing. People change when they want to, not when you expect them. Yep. Biggest learning about other people this year.
Yeah. And speaking of setting goals, I think, 2026, I think it's a perfect time to speak about goal setting a little bit. Yep. If someone's listening to this and they're in the middle of setting their goals, might be for a year, might be for the next 5 years. Yep. I know you said dream big, but is there anything tactical that they can do? You mentioned journaling. I love journaling as well. What advice would you give to someone? Maybe just starting to make goals for the first time in their life. Yeah. This could be their first year. What guidance would you give them?
I'll tell you a secret. Winners and losers set the same goals. Everybody wants to win. Facts. So it's okay. Why are some people winning and some people not? If you just set the goal but don't change your behaviors, you'll never reach it. So set the goals, but then create a daily standard. For the goal to become inevitable, what has to happen on a daily basis? Make that the goal, to do those things, right? So 2026, set a big goal, figure out what has to happen. The second thing I would encourage everyone to do to make 2026 the best year possible is get a journal and write down your mistakes at the end of each night, and write down the people you met, and write down your big dreams and big goals. If you don't have the courage to share it with others right now, start by sharing it with yourself in the pages of your journal. And you do it enough times, it starts to become a little easier to talk about. Yeah. I would also tell people, find an accountability partner. I used to go to the gym with my buddy Cross. Okay. It was very easy to go to the gym when I know Cross was going to show up. And if I didn't go, he'd call me. Then he moved to Boston. It became a lot harder for me to show up to the gym. So I called my cousin Roman. Hey, man, let's create a spreadsheet. Roman's habits, Sam's habits. We're never going to have calls. I don't want to add extra calls to my calendar. But you can see if I'm doing my daily habits or not, and I can see if you're doing yours or not. That simple extra layer of accountability gets me out of bed on the days I don't want to show up. Yeah. Have some accountability, set goals, but then live the standards and journal each night.
And speaking of goals, I'm going to ask you to manifest something on the episode. Yeah. We asked our guests to do this. Something you want to come to fruition the next 5-10 years, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. Yep. Be as detailed as you can. Yep. Because we have to be. And tell it to the camera so that we can clip this when it happens and say, hey, he said it.
I got goosebumps. We're currently sitting in the year 2035. We are just about to leave on our world tour. It's a stadium tour. Each night, different places around the globe, we have 30, 40,000 people showing up to our events. I'm talking families, multi-generational. There's kids, parents, and their grandparents all coming out to a show together that is half comedy, half motivation. People are laughing, they're learning, and they're leaving creating unforgettable memories with their family. We also have a self-sustaining media company that reaches many millions more people than our in-person events ever can. And those media assets are what is selling our books, putting butts in seats, and creating an impact far beyond our in-person shows ever could. That's the biggest thing we're working on manifesting right now. And I appreciate you for giving me the chance to share it.
You're going to do it all.
Yes, sir.
I have no doubt.
It's already happened.
It's already happened. It's
Time
already
is
written.
catching up. Yeah.
We're going to do some rapid fire, okay?
Let's hit it.
Biggest lesson of 2025.
Biggest lesson of 2025. Stop dreaming so small.
One thing you've learned about yourself through helping others.
The fulfillment you get from serving somebody else is something you can't get from anything else in your life. If you want to heal your own struggles and challenges, find an opportunity to help somebody.
What's one belief you had to unlearn?
That the problem wasn't me.
Damn.
I think it's way easier to blame everything else
than
to reflect on our own involvement.
Who do you want to make proud the most?
My no. Passed when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
We share the same name.
Yeah.
He's my biggest inspiration. You know, he moved to this country, didn't speak English, raised a family with 4 kids. Guy, to the day he died, couldn't read or write. Worked at General Motors. Got asked to get a promotion and move from the line to management. First question, do I have to learn how to read and write? I don't want the job. Keep me on the line.
Wow.
40 years, 50 years. To the day he died, he was working. I know he's watching. And I want to make him super proud of our last name.
I think you already are. What's one thing that helped you get out of your lowest moment?
Espresso.
That's my guy right there.
Nah. Calling my friends, man.
Sick.
Talking about it.
Sick. I would say espresso, though. And, of course, our famous question.
Yeah.
Sam, does money buy happiness?
I was a little nervous about this one. Okay. I have a counter question. Does hammer build home?
Yes.
It can.
You need it.
All right. It could
It's
be
one thing you need.
It could be used to build a house.
Yeah.
It could be used to break one down.
True.
I think money is a tool.
Okay.
It could be used to create experiences that generate happiness. It could be used to do the opposite. You ever heard of $2 Holler Steve?
No.
New York City lawyer. Walks around with stacks of $2 bills and hands them out to people. He told me that he's given out $9 million in $2 bills in the past 20 years.
Holy.
And I got to have a meal with him at a steakhouse in Manhattan. And we're sitting at the table. Bro, people are walking up to the table, pulling out crumpled up $2 bills. Your mom, my mom got this from you years ago. We still have it, Steve. So good to see you.
Wow.
Bro, bottle of wine hits the table 5 minutes after sitting down. Compliments of another friend. All the staff coming over. Steve, so great to see you. Acting like he's a member of their family. Before we walked in the restaurant, he drops a $2 bill on the ground. Lady picks it up. She goes, sir, you dropped this. He goes, no, it wasn't a mistake. It's yours. She goes, no, I got one from you 2 weeks ago. Keep it.
Wow.
Money buys happiness, but it's a tool. It depends how you use the tool.
Does it buy you happiness?
When I use it on things that make me feel fulfilled, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's also subjective. Someone could say buying that Mercedes made my entire life better. That's not it for me. Physical things don't do it for me. But when I take $2,000 and secretly donate it to a GoFundMe campaign as someone who I love for struggling, and they wouldn't have the courage to ask for the help, even though they know I could provide it, that makes me feel really good.
Sam, bro, I appreciate you, man. This won't be the last time, that's for sure.
This was sick, man.
Did you have a good time?
I did. Thank you.
Guys, appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.